It's super common for products to get a 0.8 to 1.5 ROAS with TikTok ads. What do you do? What's going on, guys? Noah Brewer here, back again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about 5 things that you need to do if your ads are breaking even in order to give the product a good run for its money and give it the best chance of coming out as a profitable winning product. Now, this subject has came up many times in my comment section and also in my Instagram DMs where you guys, often ask me questions and whatnot, and it's basically like, hey, I have this product that's breaking even, I don't really know what to do next. So in this video, like I said, I'm going to be giving you 5 crystal clear things that you can do when your ads are breaking even to try and make it better and give the product a better run for its money. This is obviously confusing for some people because you don't want to waste a potentially really good profitable product, but you also don't want to waste a bunch of time and money on a product that has no potential future. And one more thing, this training will be used internally for my own team members, students, and clients alike. So pay attention because this is real information that we are using to grow stores right now. By far, the number one thing that you should be doing is sticking to a rule on when to kill and when to scale. So there should be a general rule that you follow as to when you're going to move on from a product and when you're going to continue testing it. For me, it's $100 loss. So pretty much if we lose $100 on any product at any given time during the scale or whatever, we just move on. This means that, if you spent $100 and you made back 2 sales that have a $20 gross profit margin on it, then even though you spent $100, you only lost $60. And technically speaking, you could test a new campaign with a new creative or new strategy, whatever, and spend another $40 or so giving that product another shot. So this is very, very important because it's very easy to go down the rabbit hole. If you haven't seen my video on what the rabbit hole is, I would highly recommend checking it out. It's the video on my channel where I have like these swirly things in the thumbnail. It was a really fun video, but it's a serious one because you can really keep on, new stores, new creatives, new strategies. I mean, you can get married to a product and just lose your fucking absolute ass testing that product and testing different store designs and copy and creatives and whatnot. And if you stick to a rule like this one that I'm talking about now, you don't have to worry about going down the rabbit hole. As long as you don't lose more than $100 for each product you test, I would say it's safe to test whatever you want to do. Now, in rare situations, you can break even the whole time. Everything that you test just breaks even. In that case, I would say give it like 1 to 2 weeks. If you're breaking even for 1 to 2 weeks and you're continuously testing new creatives, new strategies, and the 5 things that we're about to talk about in this video, then sadly, I would probably say it's probably best to just move on from the product because we don't want to waste a lot of money, but we also don't want to waste a lot of time. Even though you are breaking even, that could be good depending on how you leverage your audience, but most of you are probably going to want to move on to something that has a little bit more potential than just breaking even on the front end. So follow a general rule. For me, it's $100 lost, and the reason I have that rule is because every single winning product I've ever found has always become profitable within that $100 loss spent. So I don't really see a point in going deeper than that, but you can be more loose. If you really want to, you can call it $150, $200, whatever. Just don't be too crazy and don't go too far down the rabbit hole. And most importantly, stick to your rules. So before we get into the 5 things, I wanted to talk about the opportunity of either working directly with me one-on-one to help you grow your Shopify business or working with my done-for-you service where we find you a winner and scale the ads for you. If you're interested in working with me in one way or another, there will be an application in the description that you can fill out and we can discuss how we may be able to help you. So the first thing that I say that you should be testing if your ads are just breaking even and you're not seeing the best result is new creatives and new angles inside of your creatives. So obviously TikTok is heavily driven by creatives, and part of the reason is because your targeting options are terrible. So your creative is pretty much the only thing that's bringing the right customers to your page. And I believe this is part of the reason why creatives are so important with TikTok ads. And TikTok is very unique because there's literally hundreds of trends, sounds, different things that you can do inside of your creatives, different varieties, different angles, and things that you can test. And you can also get creative and even try to create your own trends and do your own things, which I've also seen perform really good in the past as well. I would even go as far to say, like, if you're breaking even and you're getting a good amount of sales, if you have belief in your product, go as far as to order the product and actually make creatives yourself. That way you're in full control of the creatives that are being put out there, and you can directly test different angles, different creatives every single day, and as many as you need because you have the product and you're the one making the creatives. So obviously, if you're breaking even, I would say number one thing that you should be testing is probably new creatives, and whether that's finding them online or making them yourself or buying them from viral e-com ads, whatever you wanted to do, I think it is one of the most effective way to turn a break-even campaign into a profitable campaign. Now, the second thing that you should do, which comes off as obvious to most people, but you'd be surprised the amount of people I see that aren't doing this is Klaviyo and SMS Bump. So obviously email marketing and SMS marketing. So I think Klaviyo is the best app for email marketing, and most people don't have it set up right out the gate. But if you have a product that's showing promise and it's breaking even, 1 ROAS, whatever, I think it's worth installing it and actually setting up an abandoned cart sequence from 0 to up to 2 days at least, like at least 2 days out, so that you can remind your customers that they were shopping on your site and that they abandoned their cart. So for example, you can send out 2 reminders on day 1 and then 2 reminders on day 2 and then 2 more reminders on day 3, and feel free to mix in discount codes and different offers in your abandoned cart emails just to make the offer more enticing. Even if you can squeeze out an extra 1 to 3 sales a week or whatever, if you're breaking even, that would in fact push you into being profitable. So this is 100% worth doing. The next thing is obviously SMS Bump, or any SMS reminder app that uses the customer's phone number to send them a text message and remind them that they were shopping on your site. This is really, really good to do. And again, it's super cheap and it's a good way to remind your abandoned carts that they were shopping on your site. And again, if you pull in an extra 1 to 3 sales, whatever, it probably won't make that big of a difference, but it could be the difference between you breaking even and you profiting at least by a little bit. So the next thing is AOV and essentially split testing different offers. So honestly, I don't mess with AOV that much. Like, I don't do a lot of upselling. I don't split test pricing that much because I truly feel like a product should be profitable with the way that you initially launch it from the get-go. But if you're seeing that it's breaking even and it almost seems like it's almost there to where it could be profitable and scalable, sometimes you can try out a higher price. You can add upsells, cross-sells. There's many different ways that you can actually increase AOV, and you can try these things out to try to push yourself over that edge where you're going from just breaking even to being profitable. And sometimes you can get creative with it. Obviously, you can test different offers like buy one, get one. You can test out different pricing, compare at price. So that's another great way to do it. Maybe you can bump your price up by $10 or $5 and it won't affect conversion rate, but it will affect your bottom line, which will, hence turn it from a breaking even product to a profitable product. Another question that you can ask is, how applicable is quantity in your product? So does it make sense to start offering people 2 of these or 3 of these? Or maybe if they buy 5 of them, they can get 50% off their entire order. You can get really creative with your offers, and depending on your product, there's many things that you can do. And I wouldn't 100% recommend like pre-purchase upsells because they do mess with the sales process a little bit. I think they're heavily distracting and it kind of ruins the point of the upsell in the first place. I also made a video on this about a month ago that talks about how to run numbers on things that you're doing to make sure that they're actually profitable and it's not just an illusion. But if you do want to do pre-purchase upsells or post-purchase upsells, I would highly recommend not implementing these midway through a scale or midway through a test. I would highly recommend just doing it from the beginning. That way, by the time your product is up and running and already making sales, you already have it done and you don't have to risk messing with the event location of the pixel or anything like that. This is just speaking from experience. Almost any time I've implemented upsells or whatever midway through, it'll almost always fuck something up. So I'm just saying, if it's something you want to do it from day one and don't try to do it halfway through. So the next thing that I wanted to add to this list was essentially testing out a branded store, or at least something that you put a little bit more effort into. So most people, when they're testing products, they'll actually test on a general or a niche store, or maybe just like a very quickly thrown together one product store, if that. So what I would encourage you to do is, if your product is breaking even, take a look at your store design. If you're doing a general store, can you maybe convert it into like a properly branded store and test it out with a store that's actually built to its best abilities? With the custom domain, with the custom logo, the homepage, the product page, everything optimized in the way that it should be, looking great with good product images, basically just going the extra mile, which I usually don't recommend that people do that when they're just testing products. However, if you have a product that's already showing promise and it could potentially be something that turns profitable, I think this is a logical step number 2, which is kind of redesigning the store, making it look and function a lot better. One thing that I will note is, if you do a custom domain, like if you're switching from a general domain into a custom domain, it is always worth making a new campaign to test out your new domain, even though your old link will still redirect to the new domain. In my experience, I've never had a successful domain switch like mid-test or mid-scale. So whatever ads you're currently running will most likely die out once you switch your domain. It could be congruency, it could be the pixel, whatever. I don't know what it is. I'm just saying that if you do switch out your domain, fully expect to have to launch a new campaign in in order to test it in the best way possible. Now, I have this one at the end of the list because honestly, all the other things in this video I think will make more of a direct impact. However, these little changes can actually have some big effects in your actual conversion rate. So the last thing we're going to be talking about is called CVR optimization, or conversion rate optimization. And this is things like scarcity timers, simplifying your sales process, right? Like maybe doing a buy it now button instead of an add to cart, different payment processors. Maybe you weren't accepting Amazon Pay. Maybe you can turn it on, see if it increases your conversion rate at all. I've had much success with Amazon Pay, PayPal, Stripe, Shop Pay. Shopify Payments has gotten really good with this, adding Apple Pay and all these different things. Trust badges and featured badges on your website could just increase the trust factor of your store, make it look more legit. You can have the visitors on your page now thing. So on your product page, you can say that there's like 1,000 people looking at this product. You could obviously do not only scarcity timers, but also scarcity countdowns. So I personally probably wouldn't recommend like an automatic countdown because it's going to be different every time they look at it and it's just not genuine. But you can put on the website, 100 units available at this sale price. If it says sold out, then that means the sale price is gone. And that really makes it look like when the sale runs out, it's about to go sold out. So it adds some like real scarcity there. But yeah, you can say that there's like X amount of visitors on page. And if you mix those two, only 100 available and there's 500 people on the website, that could create some like, oh shit, there's only 100 of these and there's already 500 people looking at it. I might want to buy this right now. It creates just some urgency and scarcity. Another thing that many people don't talk about with conversion rate optimization is your About Us page, FAQs on your product page or in your header or your home page. Also doing order tracking, things that you can add to your website that just overall adds to the trust. I know FAQs make one of the biggest differences because you can address objections, you can address questions in like kind of like a non-salesy way. It's very native to the Shopify platform. Like when you're scrolling through a website, if you have questions about a product, first thing that you usually look for is an FAQ. So it's always a good thing to have there. And honestly, when most people are just testing products, they don't think to have an About Us page or an FAQ or order tracking. You just want to test a product and see how it does. But if you're trying to make the most out of your product and maybe it's breaking even and you want to try to turn it into something profitable, I would consider adding at least a few of these things to your website along with all the other things that we talked about in this video. So that was it for this video. I know it was kind of a quick one, but I needed to make this video anyways for my internal team of ad buyers and students and clients. So I figured I would structure it as a YouTube video to kind of help you guys out as well. So like I said before, if you do want the opportunity to work with me one-on-one, or if you want to work as a part of my done for you service where we find you products and test them and scale them for you on your store, then there will be a link to an application in the description where you'll be able to apply to work with me. And then if I see you as a good fit, I'll reach out, we can hop on a call and discuss from there. Again, if you got value from this video, leave a like, subscribe for more videos like this. And if you have any feedback, questions, comments, whatever, leave them in the comment section down below, because not only does it help me, but it also helps the other viewers that are also looking at the comments. So I love the way that you guys engage in the comment section of my videos. And of course, careful for those fake accounts, because those fake accounts are replying to every single comment on my channel right now, and I'm doing my best to delete them and hide them from my channel, but it's very, very difficult. So don't get scammed, and make sure that if you are talking to me on Instagram or any of these platforms, that it's actually me and it's not some bot trying to sell you cryptocurrency. But I hope this video is valuable for you. This is Noah Brewer, and I'm out. Peace.